So you think you are grown. So you think you are. But there we go. Good morning. Some of you think you're grown. And we can go round and around and around and around and around and back around again as to what constitutes someone being grown. Um, I have my own opinion, and you're entitled to yours. I have my own opinion about what makes someone grown, what makes them grown. Is it, what they do, what they say? A lot of times we grow up faster than, in today's society, we grow up faster than we did a while back. Children grow up faster. They're more perceptive than other generations. Sometimes we grow up because of the circumstances. Sometimes circumstances and situations cause us to grow up. When you're forced into, let's say, the death of a parent, if you're a young child and the patriarch dies or passes away, and you're forced into do more manly obligations, that might make you grow up faster, or vice versa, or you being more relied on can make you be more grown. To having a community garage sale throughout the neighborhoods. I'm being nosy and watching these cars passing by my house. I'm gonna be that grouchy old guy and say, wait a minute, why, even though it's public property, why are you parked in front of my house? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I always want to know, what makes people grown. So I created my own little outline about what I think. And again, we do want your input. We do want you to go wake up somebody, go wake up 3 people, and invite them to a watch party, because everybody has their different opinions. So you think you are grown. And if I had $1 for every time I heard that come out of at least one of my parents' mouth, I could go to Papa Do's every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So you think you're grown now. Particularly my father would say that, and he would always put that now on the end of it. So you think you're grown now. And of course, I didn't answer that because that was like a trap. If you answered it, then, you probably be looking, picking your teeth, T-E-E-T-E-E-F, your teeth off the ground. I said it how y'all say it. Say it with your teeth. Yeah, that's what you say. Okay, yeah. You be picking your teeth up off the ground. But I know particularly in our household, not our household, but in our community, if I can say it that way, parents will say that. So you think you've grown. And then, so what I would do is backtrack. What did you do, to make them say that? So you think you're grown. Usually for me, it was something that they told me not to do. Let's use the old, how your parents used to tell you, I don't know if some of y'all might be too young, is, you need to be in this house before that street light comes on. And I was like, but everybody else is not in the house before the street light. And I distinctly remember my mother saying, but everybody else don't live here. Yes, ma'am. So, I always would do, it was always something that I did to lead them into saying, so you think you're grown. And I will say this, it was never talking back. Talking back in our household was like unheard of. It never happened. I never saw my sister, never saw my brother, never saw any one of us. Now that doesn't mean we didn't talk back outside where they couldn't hear us. When we got away from them, you sell wolf tickets when you're not around. But we weren't allowed. And I use the word allowed because parents nowadays, and this is just a thought I'm throwing out there. Parents nowadays are allowing their kids to think they're grown. They're allowing their kids to think they're grown by doing several things. Good morning, Ebony Jackson. What's up? They're allowing their kids to do grown things. They're allowing them to act like they're grown. And wait a minute. And I have to say this: parents with teenage daughters, don't take this personally. You're allowing your child to think they're grown by the way they dress. You can go to any social media outlet and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna take it back. The young ladies look like prostitutes. Everything is the dress is so high, and I don't understand it. So you want them to act that, and then when they come in and smart off to you, not the first time because you've allowed them to do it, then you realize, oh, you think you're grown, but you got them dressing like a stripper. I'm in love with a stripper. That's a song, isn't it? Well, I'm not. I'm just saying that's a song, but that's you got them dressing like that, thinking they're grown. And then what happens is because they think they're grown and you've been allowed them, what's up, Sean? They've been allowed to think they're grown, then they start acting like they're grown. And how do they act like that? I'm glad you asked, because one thing they do, they start doing what they see you do. They start doing what they see you do. They start saying what they hear you say. So yeah, they think they're grown because a lot of times you haven't stopped them. I always wanted my children to stay children, to stay in a child's place. Don't rush to grow up because there's plenty of time for that. If the Lord let you live, there's plenty of time for you to be grown. I want you to stay a child, a toddler, a young teenager, I want you to stay. I don't want you, in these streets trying to act like you're grown, because when you get too far out there, there's two places you're gonna wind up: dead or in the jail for trying to be grown. But a lot of times, thinking you're grown is something totally different from actually the act of being grown. Being grown comes with a lot of responsibility. It does. And I'm gonna say this. Me personally, this is me personally. Before I get into my little outline, I create an outline, y'all. This is me personally. I think if I'm grown, I got my own stuff. Yeah. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked me. That means I got my own bills. I got my own place. I got my own stuff going on with me. That means I'm grown. I can't say I'm grown and I'm living under mama's roof. Now, wait a minute. There are certain circumstances where let me put it this way, analogy. If my oldest son fell off and he, wherever I lay my head, he can lay his head. Let me put it out there like that. But it's not for you to be, your goal is to live here forever. No, you ain't grown if you living here forever. You need to get your own stuff, and pay some bill, not a bill. I don't need nobody around here paying a bill. I'm already paying bills. I don't need that. That's not helping me. So grown is getting out on your, that's, I'm sorry. Being grown means getting out, taking care, handling your business, your own stuff. That's what it is. So don't tell me nothing about you being grown and you still hanging on the coattail of your parents, won't get out, living under their house, don't want to work, all this other crap they letting you do. Not, but you think you're grown. Okay, I'm not meddling. Like my pastor said, I'm not going to be messing. I love it when he says that. Okay, so here's my outline on the side right here. Check this out. See, I did it. I stepped up my overlay game. Okay, so of course it says Clifford's Corner. That's the show, just in case you didn't know that. So you think you're grown. So those people that are listening in the comment bars, I want you to comment if you have been told by your parents, so you think you're grown. Type yes in the comment bar right now if you could. Okay, so you think you're grown. What constitutes being grown? The first thing is age a factor. And I know I've heard this, age ain't nothing but a number, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Okay. You only say that you only say age is nothing but a number when you some old cougar trying to get with some young dude. Then you saying age ain't nothing but in some, somebody just rode by my house with a whole bunch of Trump flags in the back of it. Hold on, no, that's okay. And make sure you get out and vote. Make sure you get out and vote. That's free right there. Vote your voice. Your vote. There we go. Say it a little louder for the ones in the back. Thank you, Sean. I'm gonna put some speakers back there in the back phone, Sean, so they can't fall asleep on me. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I need you to message me. Willie may read you for it after the show. Message me on Messenger. I got something I need you to do. I'm sure that. Look at God right there. That's right. Perfect. So don't forget. Age plays a factor in being grown. Your age. Okay, so what is the age of accountability? When is the, I believe the state or the national age, let's say legal age is 21. Okay, legal to do what? Get married, drink alcohol, but sometimes the age, I would say more of the behavior and the age is a factor on, because you got some old folks, when I say old, above 40s, they're still acting like children, talking like children. And wait a minute, and let me reference the Bible. Let me reference the Bible. I'm gonna clear this up for a whole bunch of Bible readers right here. When the Bible says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, and when I became a man, I put away childish things. That is in the realm of spiritual. Everything in the Bible is spiritual. That's free game right there. They're not talking about, that scripture is not talking about when I was a child, I spoke jargon, and now I can put sentences together. That's not what it means. When I was a spiritual child, I spoke as a child, I acted like a child. That means you still cussing people out, still talking back, still doing things contrary to the Bible. That's what that means. But when I became a man spiritually, and he's talking about man as a species, not man as a gender, I grew up. Yeah, okay. So that's free right there. So the age plays a factor in how are you grown mentally? What are the circumstances? I said before, what are the circumstances and situations that made you grow up mentally to where you're grown? There are some teenagers, I will say, that are grown beyond their years. They are mentally stable at 13 years old. And I'm not saying that because you can max any type of test they got at the school and all of that. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm talking about. But they're strong mentally. They can handle things, depression, and all these other emotions that they go through as a teenager. So they are grown. They're grown along the lines of that. So if you ask yourself, so does my age make me grown? I would say no. It makes you grown in the sight of the state of Texas, being above 21. But all these other factors play in the role: actions, attitudes, association, ability. That plays in the good morning, brother-in-law. What's up? See that? The happy family he got right there. I ain't seen Ain't Diane. Ain't Diane, you on here? Comment hello. So the age does play a factor. Too old now, and again, I said there are some people that are too old to be acting like children. Too old to be acting like, everybody knows. Everybody has at least two people in their family. You ain't got to call their names out. That when you go to the family reunion, you say, man, they haven't grown up yet. They still acting like, they still acting like they're 12. It's nothing worse than seeing an old dude still, dressing like he's 17 years old. Hey, Diane Word, what's up? All the way from Corpus Christi, Texas. That's my faithful listener right there. And Diane, when you see me, lunch is on me. Yeah, that's right. I got you. So the age plays a factor in the role. Now let's talk about the attitude. Some of y'all not gonna like this one. The attitude. I can just put the brakes on and park right here. So you think you're grown, but your attitude. I hate to say this. Some of us. Wait. Let me exclude me. Some of y'all. Some of y'all got some nasty attitudes. Some of y'all. Yeah, I said y'all. Hey, Bridget, tell your mother I said hello. I love your mother. Tell her I said I love her too. Bye-bye. Some of y'all got nasty attitudes. And we say this at Texas Gulf Coast when we close out the meeting: nasty attitude, nasty results. Good attitude, good results. And that is true. Our attitude, and this is corny and cheesy, and I don't like living on catchphrase mentality, but I have heard this say that your attitude determines your altitude. Well, that can be true, and then that cannot be true. What I suggest is that try to have a good attitude through a lot of things that you go through. A lot of times your situation can determine your attitude. What I try to do personally, grown folks talk, is to keep my attitude right. I distance myself from people that can change my attitude, change the way I think about them, change the way I respond to them. I try to stay away from folk that's gonna make me, go to jail. I try to stay away from them. I try not to associate with them. I don't want to talk to them. I try to make sure that the contact is limited, because I know on some days, we wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and it's a bad attitude. I hope she's listening. Hey, hello, Sister Ethel Thompson. How are you doing, man? Thank you, Bridget. Back to the attitude. The attitude, it don't take much driving in this Houston traffic to have a bad attitude. I mean, I live like real close to 45. I can get up on 45, and by the time I get down to 1960, I'm already thinking about saying some bad words. And some of y'all will have already said them by then. But your attitude, you have to have a grown folks attitude to be able to function in today's society. You can't let everything set you off. Some of us, we get set off real quick. It don't take much. And then some of us, we looking for a fight. We looking for some action. We just can't wait for somebody to say something so we can cuss them out. Raise your hand. Don't type in the comments bar. Raise your hand if you're a good cusser. I see your hands in the back. I see that. Yeah. Okay. So you think you're grown. Age is a factor. Attitude is a factor. The third one, actions. Grown people. Now listen to this. Grown people act and respond differently. When I'm grown, that means my response. So I think I'm grown. My response should be different. My actions should be different. I should not respond like, the person that's not grown. Does that make sense? Let me pull over real quick. Today's show is brought to you by Golden D hairline, wigs, weaves, bonnets, eyelashes, eyelash extensions, edge controls. Ladies, let me say that again. Edge controls. Get them edges slayed. Visit their website at goldendhairline.com. There we go. Back to that. Okay. So when I'm grown, I respond and I act different. Again, we're talking about behavior. I don't act like a child. I don't respond. Everything that you do when you're grown does not warrant a response. Whenever somebody says something, here's a suggestion. This is free game again right here. Before you respond to somebody, think first. I dare you to do that. See, we don't listen and apply the thinking process. We listen to see how to respond. That's what we listen for. The content of what somebody says generally is not even taken into consideration. We're not listening at what they said. We're listening to how they said it. I would listen to them, Clifford, but the way they said it to me. Well, me being messy sometimes. Well, how did they say it to you? just so I can get them to talk it out, and I will agree. There are some times when people come at you sideways where, I can't hear anything they're saying because, one, you screaming at me. I can't be, anybody that knows me knows one thing: don't scream at me. Period. It don't matter who you are, from the White House steps to the Antoine and DeSoto, all the way everybody in between there. Look, don't scream at me. If you scream at me, I'm not hearing nothing. Period. I don't care. I don't care what position you hold in my company I work for. Don't scream at me. And if you get away with it one time, don't try it the second time. Please don't. So and I'm a work in progress. That song say, "Please be patient with me." Yep, he ain't through with me yet. I know that. The actions, grown people act and respond differently. So in order for me to act grown, so I think I'm grown, I need to change the way I respond to people, to situations. Every situation does not mean when bad things happen to you, you go out and jump in a whiskey bottle, bad things. That's not responding as an adult. Responding as an adult means rationalization, rationalize some things, rationalize some issues. And wait a minute, and all above this, and this is free. I would put this at number 6. Being grown, you're gonna have a prayer life. And I've been, some people been picking at me. Let me say this, to have a churchy show. And I've been kind of shying away from that because I don't necessarily, people interpret the Bible they want and how they want to. I do encourage you to have a Christian relationship, a one-on-one relationship. I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to get to know the Lord. I encourage all of that. But I'm debating on doing that because what I don't want to do is I don't want to do it and get a whole bunch of influx emails and then turn Clifford's Corner into a Christian show. Now, I'm not interested in doing that. No, now I will have some guests on. And real soon, Willie may read for it. I'm just throwing it out there. Make sure you message me. I'm gonna need you to do something. See how God worked that out. Okay, so you think you're grown? Age, actions, age, attitude, actions, and associations. Who do we hang around with that makes us grown? Are we hanging around grown people with grown folks' mentality? I can't say what my nephew would say. Well, let me say it this way: that do grown folks stuff. Grown folk business. You know, I like, me personally, I like hanging around folks that are doing grown folk stuff. You know, they handle their business. You can see that they're going somewhere. You can see that they've been somewhere. They're smart, they're educated. You know, they handle their business. You know, they're successful in the workplace. You know, their children are okay. And parents, your kids are going to make mistakes. I promise you. You know, now what they're going to do, I can't tell you. But I will tell you this with mine. I don't come down hard on my children when they make mistakes because I made. You know, and I don't browbeat them either. My wife and I don't. You know, if you made a mistake, sit down. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you did wrong, and don't do that crap no more. Period. We done. Yeah, we done. Ain't gonna be no bringing it up later, and you know, a week later we still talking about it, and we got to sit down. I don't have time for all that. I told you, get it together, and that's my expectation. Period. You know, there's no need of harboring. That's not gonna change anything. So, association. Who you hang around? Who are your circle of friends? Are your circle of friends grown? Or are you like my age and you got some 20 and 30-year-old friends that you hang around with because you's trying to stay young? Let me tell you something. Nobody has ever outran Father Time. No doggone body. You can bleach it, dye it, color it, tuck it, go get injected, whatever you want to do. I don't care what you do. You ain't outrunning Father Time. Period. Forget about it. You can forget about it. Now, one thing about, you know, us, we might not look our age, but you're not gonna outrun Father Time. You know, so find some people, and my mother said this, find some people your own age. Yeah, you know, because I always hung around older, you know, the older men in my neighborhood, the older cats were like the ones they took us under the wings and groomed us. You know, they gave us a game with everything, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. And it was ugly at times, you know, they gave us a game, but I appreciated that. But that was a different time where, you know, where like Nisha said last week, the village played a big role in our association. The village wouldn't let us have associated with people that we knew. You know, my dad was an educator in Victoria, Texas. And when people saw me and my brother out doing stuff, all they had to say was, excuse me, ain't you chief son? All that meant right there was, okay, your association. Yeah. And that mean, and it also meant we finna snitch on you. And, you know, you won't have a problem when you get home. You know, they knew your association. They knew who you were associated with. So if you're grown, find some people your age doing positive things. Don't hang around negative people. If you're grown, you shouldn't be hanging around negative people. You should be, if you're above the age of, let's say 30, you should have some type of clue as to what you're doing with your life. You should have some type of direction as to where you're going with your life. You shouldn't be I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm finna. You know, y'all know them finna. I'm finna get a job, finna do this, finna go here, finna do that, finna. Amen. I wish I had an organ to back you up with before. Amen. Thank you, man. We finna. You know, your association, get away from people that's finna. You know, I'm finna get a job. I'm finna move out of the house. I'm finna go do this. And a year later, you still finna. You know, wow, what happened? Your association. Let me quote Irma Jean English. Association brings about assimilation. Now, let me tell you something. We was like 3 or 4 saying words like that. My mother taught us how to talk and talk right. Not let me say the other thing. She taught us how to talk right. So she said association brings about assimilation. That's the way she said it. Leon English, my daddy said, if you hang around 4 broke Negroes, that's not the word he used, you and your brother gonna be number 5 and 6. And so we got 2 versions of everything that was served up at our house. You know, my mother gave us the nice, quiet, proper way, and my daddy gave us the rude. You know, he got down in the dumps with us and told us, okay, straight up, this is how it's gonna be, and we appreciated that because it brought about the association made us try to be better. Now it wasn't being better that we thought we were better, but try to hang around people that were going someplace. Now that's like eating fish. Sometimes it's hard to tell because people hide that very well. But you can always determine by watching someone. You don't have to say anything, just watch it. You can learn a lot about people without even opening your mouth. Just watch. When I want to learn something about somebody, whether I just met them, whether it's on the job, I watch them. And they don't even know I'm watching. I'm watching them, see what they're doing, who they're talking to, how they're talking to them. Are they friendly? Are they not friendly? You know, and that's all I need to know. And from that, I can determine, well, you know what, hey, you know, they cool, you know, or you know what, man, I better stay away from them. That's trouble. And that's an easy thing. So you think we're grown, almost done. So you think we're grown, age, attitude, actions, association, and ability. Your ability to circumvent situations, your ability to sidestep problems, your ability not to be engaged in things that are childish determines you're grown. Because a lot of times we already know situations are coming our way, and we need to make sure, because of a grown folks mentality, how we handle that. My ability to be able to pick out what's good and what's bad, that's a grown folks move. Okay, I'm not gonna go take a job. Let me tell you, grown folks move. I'm not gonna go take a job that pays me $70,000, $80,000, and it's gonna have me way in Alaska somewhere. That's not a grown folks move, because why would I do that? I got family. Now it'd be different. You know, that's just something simple analogy. It'd be different if I was single. You know, I would, you know, okay, is it worth me living in Alaska? Well, they're gonna have to pay me way more than that. They're gonna have to pay me, you know, it's gotta be over 100,000. One, because it stay dark almost the whole doggone time you're there, and I don't like cold. So it's gotta be worth it. You know, so my ability to be able to and the Bible puts it this way: the spirit of discernment. Oh, yeah, I read the Bible. Yeah, I'm a Bible reader. Yeah. You need to be able to. But first, in order for me to get the spirit of discernment, I got to go to God and ask Him to show it to me. But a lot of times we have the ability, but we don't realize we have the ability because we have not consulted with God. We have not consulted with our parents. We have not consulted with that small group of friends. It's okay to ask your close circle, hey, this is what came up in my life. I want you to tell me, but tell me how you would handle it, you know, and get an opinion. And then be careful of them folks that you know, nobody should be giving you marital advice and they ain't married. You know, that's like an alcoholic telling you, boy, don't you drink. And you sitting there with a bottle of Crown next to you. What? Okay, so yeah, your ability to be able to handle things, to be able to speak to things, to be able to think through things, my ability to do all of that makes me grown. So if I was to ask my question, so you think you're grown to me, my answer would be you doggone right. Yeah, I think I'm grown, not because of my age, not because of my attitude, not because of my actions, but all of those things on a positive note rolled into one. Yes, I would say yes, because I can't pick out one of those and say, yeah, this one I'm growing and this one I'm not, because they all come at me at different times. I will say for me, life, circumstances, having to deal with things has made me grown to the fact where now I can make responsible decisions. I don't need nobody standing over me while I'm making the decisions. I can make the decisions on my own. I can think for myself. I can function by myself. I can function alone if I have to. And my small association of friends, small. Lee Todd, what's up? Shout out to Convent and Depot Street. Lee Todd, hey Lee, let me tell you something. This is Lee got me distracted. But whenever you post something on social media and I start laughing, my wife said, Lee Todd. Hey, keep it coming, dude. It's hilarious. Tell your mom I said hello. Tell Vernon I said hello to. Tell Tiffany I said hello to as well. That's an old childhood friend right there. Again, shout out to Convent and Depot Street in the house. Okay, so yeah. So all of that, as a matter of fact, Convent and Depot Street made me grow up, good and bad. Those of y'all know who used to roll by there. You already know it went down on Convent and Depot Street. Yeah, but one thing about Convent and Depot Street, I've seen the products that have come out of the neighborhood, the south side of Victoria. You know, everybody's doing well. There's some that have not grown up, and for whatever situation and circumstance, and we're praying for you because I want everybody to grow up, to be successful, to have things, to be able to do things, to have fruitful relationships and all of that. You know, nobody wishes bad, but in order for you to do all that, you got to grow up. That's real talk. You got to put that childish stuff away. Okay, so if you want to, you can share this particular show on your social media page. Just click share and send it to whoever you want to. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining the show. The show again was brought to you by Golden D Hairline, weaves, wigs, bonnets, eyelash extensions, edge control, ladies. I'm not gonna leave you alone with that. Get them edges right, and so much more. Visit their website at goldendhairline.com. So again, thank you for joining the show. This is all of our Facebook information. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram. I would ask that you go over and like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. So having said that, I'm gonna let you go. See you next time.